Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Got a little bit of a glare here, but
It's morning.
yeah. And then the sun shines off the white doghouse, so
So we're getting it from both sides.
anyway, hello, everybody. This is our video that we did for the July 26, 2014 Watchtower Victims Memorial Day. And as many of you know, that my little brother committed suicide back in 2003. And even though he didn't leave a note, we believe it was because he was being shunned, by friends and family.
Guilty because we were very much part of that shunning process ourselves, so we're just as guilty, as anyone else.
Yeah,
for following this, false doctrine.
And we were indoctrinated just like all the witnesses and thought that this was the loving thing to do.
Yeah.
And we realized, no, that we could be held blood guilty, because of the shunning. And that's why we speak out so much against it and think that this Memorial Day is such an awesome idea.
Well, one thing that we've seen on Facebook, a couple people have asked, well, why pick this particular day? And the reason being is because this was the day that Rutherford decided to call his religion or change from the International Bible Students to Jehovah's Witnesses. So that's why this day was chosen.
Yes. And also, all of you have done such an awesome job. I mean, the signs you've done are beautiful. We feel kind of cheap and rednecks because all we did was a poster, and write on it, we weren't able to get, flowers, and I wanted to do a big cross with flowers on it and just pound it into the grit.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. I do want to mention that when we get to the video part of us putting our sign up, I do want to mention that Mike impaled the sign several inches into the ground with a two steros.
I used the steros.
It's going to take them a while to get this sign up because it was actually glued, and then all, in one. But also I want to mention, I'm going to show the pictures to Shyla's sign. She did a big sign, and we were at the park, City Park, having her birthday party, and she put the sign out front. So anyone walking into the park could see this, and she did bows and everything else. And so I'll be showing the pictures of that here in just a few minutes. Those were still photos.
Yeah. I also want to make something else a little clearer for Jehovah's Witnesses. Kim and I, we've been Jehovah's Witnesses all our lives, and if it's one thing that we know as Jehovah's Witnesses, it's been indoctrinated to us that the United Nations is going to turn on Babylon the Great, and it's going to destroy Babylon the Great. And, we've all heard talks about how maybe we're all going to be gathered up and put in some little concentration camp or some little camp, because we even heard rumors, several years ago that somebody knocked at the door of a United Nations member in New York City, and this person said, oh, we have special plans for you people. We all heard those rumors, and that just it just feeds the whole feeding the fear. Oh, we have a special plan for you Jehovah's Witnesses, and it just cultivates this whole thing that's all derived around fear. But I want Jehovah's Witnesses to understand what I'm saying right now. And I want you to really ponder and start doing some in-depth research. This whole United Nations thing's turning on religion, and I'm not going to talk about all the other religions. I'm just going to talk as it pertains to Jehovah's Witnesses. Right now, there is a worldwide effort to stop this cult that's called Jehovah's Witnesses,
and their abuse.
And your abuse, because you are hiding child abuse, you are hiding pedophilia, your shunning policies are killing people, and your flip-flop on the blood doctrine, now that you can have fractions, makes you blood guilty.
And in years past, it's killed people too.
Exactly. So what a lot of us in the United States, and this was just, Kim and I talked about it, and it's like, wow, why is it that the United States is so far behind in what the rest of the world is doing against Jehovah's Witnesses? Finland is battling Jehovah's Witnesses big time. but it's because it's the pressure coming from those that are leaving Watchtower. Look at what Mark and Cora have done, even going into the hospitals with the false flip-flop doctrines that Watchtower has regarding blood, and the doctors are waking up to what Watchtower's doing, and doctors are no longer on board with this whole blood BS. There's many other instances. In fact, there's an article that just came out online with another country that the United Nations, the NGO members, are calling for an in-depth investigation against Jehovah's Witnesses. But all of Finland. But all this pressure is not coming from the governments wanting to do it themselves. It's coming from those that have woken up to the fact that
the victims.
That Watchtower is not a viable Christian religion. It's a satanic cult. And the world is waking up. I just wish the United States would wake up a lot faster. But there again, the United States is, because there are cases in court prosecuting these elders that have been hiding pedophilia problems and hiding these things from the public.
And guess what? They can't cry clergy confidentiality anymore when a pedophile confesses to them, because in all their literature, they have no clergy.
We've even helped send information to the court systems showing that Watchtower says we don't have a paid clergy, so now you can't cry clergy confidentiality. Do you understand, Jehovah's Witnesses? You have to understand that every time your governing body tells you, oh, the United Nations is putting more pressure on. See, this system is going to crack down on us. Be prepared, brothers. No, it's coming from us ex-members. We're the ones putting the pressures on the governments to stop what you're doing. I want you to understand that. Go do your research. And it's days like this, the Victims' Memorial Day, that is going to raise the consciousness, awareness of the world of what Jehovah's Witnesses are responsible for. What do you think, Jehovah's Witnesses, that when J.W. Epistate is sending out his little cards, warning, public notice, there are pedophiles knocking at your door? Because Jehovah's Witnesses do not release as public information who these pedophiles are, these men are going to the doors of unsuspecting public.
And they're hiding within your congregations, and the elders will not warn you that they are right in amongst you.
So it's not the governments that's cracking down and putting all this pressure on Watchtower. It's because we are putting pressure on the governments
the XJW
to
community.
do something. You need to understand that, so that when Watchtower tries to sell you this idea that, you know, the governments are coming after us, buckle up, we're in for a hard ride right now. No, it's because we are making this happen.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's show, this memorial that Shyla did. And she has done a video on her channel at Shyla H. Of the one they did in their congregation. And then we just have a few comments at the end after we show our clip. Okay, we are out here on I-40, parked alongside the road, and Mikey is getting the sign. This right here is the driveway. And difficult to see the building, but it's hiding back behind these trees. There's the Kingdom Hall right here. They have this long driveway. Oh. He is pounding the stakes right in the ground. Mikey, are we having fun yet? Those stakes are being pounded in a good 6 inches. It says, in loving memory of friends and family we lost to the JW cult and suicide. Oh, do that again. Good job, Mikey.
Notice this Kingdom Hall property has a no trespassing sign on it.
Oh, look at that. Interesting. Yes. Interesting. Well, it's a good thing then.
But since this is right next to the mailbox, this is legally state property.
Yep. So, all right, everybody. And this is for my brother Scott too, and everyone else who's committed suicide. So. Okay, so you all seen Shyla's sign in the park there too, and I do know there was several people that were coming in that were reading it because they had a big gathering there of where kids were coming to get school supplies.
Yeah, exactly, and that was actually another idea, thinking outside the box. You know,
good job, sweetie.
Yes, Shyla, very good. It's nice that we was able to tag, you know, the Kingdom Halls. But if this is really going to be a day that we're going to choose to raise public awareness, a true Victims Memorial Day, then I feel that we should be in the public parks on this day with these banners and posters and everything else so that the public is aware. In fact, next year, Kim and I have already talked about it, we're going to try to get some local news media involved and just see what happens. Because once the world realizes who and what Jehovah's Witnesses truly are, it'll be just that much easier to turn them away at the doors. So anyhow, that's what we did for our Victims Memorial Day, and
we want to mention also more about the sign. If you notice at the end of our video, the no trespassing sign on the side of, you know, this was our old congregation up here in central New Mexico, and they had a sign. You've seen it. No trespassing on the sign. And it's interesting. We were actually kind of hoping they would arrest us for trespassing because we're going to take it to the Supreme Court. You know, they have fought all of these cases to get the right to come onto people's personal property and leave their literature and preach. But yet they have no trespassing signs, which they also claim is open to the public. So get that. You know, I don't understand this. How can you have this Kingdom Hall where your meetings are open to the public and then a no trespassing sign?
Well, if you noticed on the outside there, they had their big brick that said Kingdom Hall Jehovah's Witnesses, but nowhere is their meeting schedule, the times for their meetings posted publicly. So in order to find out when they meet, you actually have to trespass to find out when they meet. Now, how cult-like is that?
We also want to mention that we watched Mark and Cora's memorial video this morning. Great job, guys. We were crying along with you.
And we're going to be watching everyone else's who took the time to upload them to YouTube also.
But we want everyone to go watch their video and notice the sign that's out in front of this Kingdom Hall. JW.org. And then Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. Little tiny one. Yeah, interesting.
So let's, this was a good start, and let's make next year be even bigger.
God bless everybody.
Bye.